In last lecture, we have started the topic motion in a plane. In that, we have seen some introductory part about the motion as well as some terms which are related to rectilinear motion. In that lecture, we have seen the term displacement and the term path length. Now, in this lecture, we will see the next term which are related to the rectilinear motion. There is third, average velocity. आता average velocity म्हणजे काय बघा? The change in displacement divided by time interval is called as average velocity. याचं लक्षात? The change in displacement divided by time interval is called as average velocity. Definition: change in displacement divided by time interval is called as average velocity. As we see earlier, if x1 bar and x2 bar are two position vectors of the body which provide the motion at respective times t1 and t2, then we can write the formula for average velocity as v bar average is equal to delta x bar divided by delta t. आपलं डेफिनेशन कसे? चेंज इन डिस्प्लेसमेंट, डेल्टा x बार म्हणजे चेंज इन डिस्प्लेसमेंट डिवाइडेड बाय टाइम इंटरवल डेल्टा t, चेंज इन टाइम इज इक्वल टू x2 बार माइनस x1 बार डिवाइडेड बाय t2 माइनस t1. लक्षात आलं? Average velocity म्हणजे change in displacement divided by time interval. Formula v bar average is equal to x2 bar minus x1 bar divided by t2 minus t1. Okay? We can see one example of this average velocity. Suppose that a body is in the motion and it is at x1 is equal to 2 meter and x2 is equal to 4 meter. At the respective time t1 is equal to 0 minute and t2 is equal to 1 minute. Notice the body is moving at time t1, 0 minute is equal to 2 meter. At time t2, and 1 minute नंतर त्याची पोझिशन असेल 4 meter. Then average velocity can be calculated by using formula x2 bar minus x1 bar divided by t2 minus t1. That's why we can write v average is equal to x2 ची व्हॅल्यू आहे 4 meter. 4 minus x1 ची व्हॅल्यू आहे 2 meter divided by minus 2 divided by t2 minus t1, that is 1 minus 0. If we solve this, we get 2 divided by 1 or 2 meter per minute. Average velocity of the body will be 2 meter per minute. Suppose this position vectors are along x-axis. जी positive axis वर असतील तर this velocity is positive 2 meter per minute along x-axis. जर y-axis वर असेल तर ती negative आहे. Okay? Actually velocity negative नसते कधी. Actual velocity will be 2 meter per minute along x-axis असल्यामुळे we can write this equation as v average is equal to 2 I cap, I वरती cap दाखवले, I cap is the unit vector along x axis and त्यामुळे आपण लिहितो V average is equal to 2I cap. Understand? Then there is next term, average speed. Average speed is defined as the total path length traveled divided by time interval during which the motion can be takes place. Actually, the total path length traveled divided by total time during which the motion has takes place. Okay, we can write this as total path length traveled divided by time interval during which the motion has takes place. The total path length divided by time interval, we can get average speed. That's why we can write V is equal to, V average is equal to path length divided by time. Term average speed, total path length traveled divided by total time interval during which motion takes place is called as average speed. आता दोन क्वांटिटी लक्षात आले की average velocity म्हणजे change in displacement divided by time interval. Average speed means total path length traveled divided by time interval. Okay, as we see in earlier lecture, if the motion is rectilinear, that is along the straight line, then if the body does not changes its direction of motion, then path length and displacement are same. लक्षात येते? पाठीमागच्या लेक्चरला आपण हे बघितलं होतं. Same, if the body does not changes its direction of motion, then average velocity and average speed are also same. जसं डिस्प्लेसमेंट आणि पाथ लेंथ दोन्हीच्या व्हॅल्यू सेम होत्या, तशाच जर त्या बॉडीने आपली मोशनची डायरेक्शन चेंज नाही केली तर ॲव्हरेज व्हेलॉसिटी आणि ॲव्हरेज स्पीडची व्हॅल्यू देखील सेम होतात. आपण अजून म्हटलं होतं पाठच्या लेक्चरमध्ये, जर त्या मोशनची डायरेक्शन चेंज झाली तर मात्र पाथ लेंथ ही डिस्प्लेसमेंटपेक्षा जास्त येते. अगेन सेम, इफ the body changes its direction of motion, then average speed is larger than average velocity. म्हणजे जसं डिस्प्लेसमेंट पेक्षा पाथ लेंथ जास्त येते, तशीच ॲव्हरेज स्पीड हे ॲव्हरेज व्हेलॉसिटी पेक्षा जास्त येईल जर मोशनची डायरेक्शन चेंज झाली. कंपॅरिझन लक्षात येते. इन द रेक्टिलिनियर मोशन, इफ द बॉडी डज नॉट चेंजेस इट्स डायरेक्शन, देन displacement and path length are same, so average speed and average velocity are also same. But if the body changes its direction, then path length is greater than displacement, so average speed is larger than the average velocity. Understand? There is next term which is related to rectilinear motion, that is instantaneous velocity. आता instantaneous velocity define कशी करता येईल आपल्याला? The limiting value of average velocity so that time interval becomes 0. काय म्हणतो लक्षात आलं? The limiting value of average velocity so that time interval becomes becomes 0 is called as instantaneous velocity. The limiting value of average velocity so that time interval becomes 0 is called as instantaneous velocity. Therefore, we can write instantaneous velocity V bar is equal to limit t, the time tends to 0, the time interval becomes 0 is equal to delta x bar upon delta t. That's why we can also write this as dx bar upon dt. Next is the equation. V bar is equal to limit limit time tends to 0 delta x bar upon delta t, which is equal to dx bar upon dt. This is about instantaneous velocity. Definition: the limiting value of average velocity so that time interval becomes 0 is called as instantaneous velocity. And there is the next one, instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed can be defined as the limiting value of average speed so that time interval becomes 0 is called as instantaneous speed. Okay, see here. Limiting value of average speed so that time interval becomes 0. Then this is called as instantaneous speed. Definition: the limiting value of average speed so that time interval becomes 0, then it is called as instantaneous speed. रोज लक्षात आलं असेल, आपण डिस्प्लेसमेंट पाथले बघितली, ॲव्हरेज वेलोसिटी ॲव्हरेज स्पीड बघितलं, इन्स्टंटेनियस वेलोसिटी इन्स्टंटेनियस स्पीड बघितलं. प्रत्येक वेळेला आपण रेक्टिलिनियर मोशन मध्ये डिस्प्लेसमेंट पाथले वेलोसिटी ॲव्हरेज वेलोसिटी ॲव्हरेज स्पीड कंपेअर केली. तसं आपल्याला इन्स्टंटेनियस वेलोसिटी इन्स्टंटेनियस स्पीड देखील कंपेअर करता येते. इन युनिफॉर्म मोशन, कीप इन माइंड, दिस शुड बी रिमेंबर्ड. Uniform rectilinear motion. The uniform rectilinear motion पण आपण याचं rectilinear motion म्हणजे आपण बघितलं. The motion along a straight line is called as rectilinear motion. Uniform का म्हणतो तर velocity of that body remains constant. अशी जर मोशन असेल की ज्यामध्ये बॉडी मूव्स विथ कॉन्स्टंट वेलोसिटी अलॉंग द स्ट्रेट लाइन, then average velocity and instantaneous velocity. Here, first one, average and instantaneous velocity are equal. Average velocity and instantaneous velocity दोन्ही equal असतात. Next one. Again same, if the motion is uniform rectilinear motion, then average speed and instantaneous speed are same. हे लक्षात ठेवायचं. युनिफॉर्म रेक्टिलिनियर मोशन मध्ये ॲव्हरेज वेलोसिटी इन्स्टंटेनियस वेलोसिटी सेम असतात किंवा इक्वल असतात. as well as average speed and instantaneous speed हे same असतात. In case of non uniform rectilinear motion, जर मोशन नॉन युनिफॉर्म असेल तर म्हणजे तर त्या बॉडीची व्हेलॉसिटी कॉन्स्टंट असत नाही, डिफरंट असते. अशा ठिकाणी average velocity and instantaneous velocity both are different. Here average velocity and instantaneous velocity are different. दोन्ही सेम असत नाही. Again second one, average speed and instantaneous speed are also different. Again we can write average speed is different than average velocity. This should be keep in mind that in uniform rectilinear motion, average velocity and average speed, instantaneous velocity and instantaneous speed are same. But in non-uniform rectilinear motion, average velocity and instantaneous velocity are different. Average speed and instantaneous speed are also different, and average speed is different than average velocity. Okay. These are some terms which are related to rectilinear motion. Okay.